Hey guys, welcome into the informational portion of the website. I'm really excited to be here and be teaching this information on this level. And so if you're just accessing the content, one of the first things I want to get into is one of the mindsets that changed my life and my health. And that is this. If I asked you collectively, what's your most important asset? You know, this question was posed to me by one of my mentors, and as soon as it was asked of me, my mind started doing all kinds of different mental gymnastics, right? Like, I don't know, my 401k or my house, or, you just start going through financial stuff because that's where the world has us. But if you really to stop and think about what your most important asset is, I hope if you get through it, you start to realize that your health is your most important asset. Let me tell you why. If you lose your health, you have nothing. You can't work, you can't make money, you can't play with your kids, you can't have fun with your grandkids, you can't do anything. And I saw that firsthand with my grandparents. But if health is your most important asset, we can agree to that as you watch this. Hopefully you're agreeing, right? You're going through it and go, yes, he's right? Health's my most important asset. Then the question I have for you is that who needs to be in control of that asset, right? And hopefully you're thinking to yourself, because then you're going, oh, I don't know, my doctor's done a pretty good job. Hopefully you get to the point where you realize you need to be in control of that asset because it's your most important asset. So if health's your most important asset and you need to be in control of it, define it for me. Tell me what health is. And now you're playing this mental game with yourself where you're going, well, it's, I don't know, I'm pretty healthy if I feel good, if I look good, if I don't hurt, if I didn't have to take a ton of ibuprofen today, I must be healthy. If my heart, I don't know, Chris, what is health? How do I define it? What is it? What is health? And so most people will tell me after years of doing this and teaching 2 people and 2,000 people in groups, they'll say, well, I'm healthy, Dr. Chris. I know I'm healthy if every day when I get out of bed and I put my feet on the floor, I'm healthy as long as I feel good. And that's typically where most people are going. That's probably where you were going watching this video. I'm healthy if I feel good. And if it's not about how you feel, because of our culture and because of advertising and fake book and everything else you got out there, it has become about how we look. So most people will now tell me in a large group, if they're comfortable enough to raise their hand and signal, they'll say, Chris, I'm healthy as long as I look good or if I feel good. Dr. Chris, that's health, looking good and feeling good. But what if I told you that those are the absolute wrong definitions of health? And if you look up health in the Bantam Medical Dictionary and Dorland's Medical Dictionary, nothing defines health in terms of how you look or how you feel. And here's the major problem with that. That means if we really believe health is our most important asset, then that means you're not doing anything to preserve or protect that asset until you look or feel bad. Because then by definition, you're waiting until you have a problem. Like, I don't look so good anymore, maybe I should go on a diet. Or, I don't feel so good anymore, maybe I should go to the doctor and get some medication. And so what I have found over almost 20 years of teaching these things is that health is not about how you look and how you feel, it's about how your body functions. Because if you judge it based on how you feel and your symptoms, you're not being proactive, you're being reactive. You're not investing in your health, you're not trying to preserve it, you're not trying to protect it, you're not trying to keep yourself healthy, you're waiting until you look or feel bad before you make the decision to do something about it. And that is the mistake my grandparents made. Not both of them per se, but my grandfather. You see, if you look at my grandfather and my grandmother in dynamic, my grandmother always watched what she ate. She always worked out. She always, working out, right? It wasn't like she was going to the gym and lifting weights to be like Arnold. It was just like, she was walking the neighborhood. But she was always very proactive about her health. My grandfather, very reactive. And if I back into that a little bit, that's why I'm so passionate about this subject, because I saw the dichotomy between 2 people I loved. I saw my grandmother invest in her health, always watch what she always went to the chiropractor, even though I don't know she really knew why she was going. She just knew it made her feel better. Where my grandfather, very, very reactive, only went to the doctor when he was sick, only did anything about his health, only took the pills when he had a headache, whatever. It was very reactive as a mindset. And if you don't know this story, if you haven't found out, my grandfather spent the last 30 years of his life blind and paralyzed from a stroke because his reactive healthcare model, and I got to be straight with you, the reactive healthcare model is what the standard American does in this country, ignores their health until they lose it and then has to do something emergency about it. That reactive healthcare model stopped him from playing with us, stopped him from having fun, stopped him from working prematurely, couldn't make any money. He sat blind and paralyzed on a couch from a stroke that should have been prevented. And my grandmother, she actually lived to be almost 101. No drugs, no surgery, healthy. So the major difference between the 2 of them, their definition of health. Number one, if I can back to the front of it as we wrap up, at least in this video, is that she knew health was her most important asset. And I hope what you're taking from this is you're going to redefine your own assets, and you're going to realize that I'm correct in the fact that you need to prioritize your health, that you need to be proactive about your health instead of reactive. And in the next video, we're going to talk about actually the definition of health specifically. And we're going to talk about the fact that what you find when you look it up in Dorland's Medical Dictionary, the Bantam Medical Dictionary, is that in order to have 100% health, your body has to have 100% function. And we get in the next video, we're going to talk about that a little more directly, but I want you to leave with that in this, and go look it up for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go research it. You'll find that in order to build health, you have to work on function. So 100% health equals 100% function. That's the end of this one. I hope in the next one you're ready. Buckle your safety belts because we're going to go on rocket fuel in the next video.